It's a good question. I'm not sure. I think, probably one of the things that was very obvious is that I've had some experience at Auburn. And I've been at Auburn as the defensive coordinator previously through a lot of good and a lot of bad. Not a lot of bad, some bad, but mostly good. And I've kind of got the whole, the whole spectrum of what Auburn is. And Jay knows that I love Auburn. And my 3 years there were 3 of the greatest years in my coaching career in 23 years. And he knows that I know what Auburn needs. He knows that I get Auburn. And so when he said perfect fit, I think he means that, I'm a guy that understands it, knows how to get it back to where it was. And that's because I have a working knowledge of Auburn and the people. And that's important. Well, I think the biggest concern for me right now, just overall as a football team, I'm concerned about some depth issues. We've got some, very talented players at some positions, but maybe not a whole lot of depth behind them. Obviously, we've got to get our quarterback situation resolved with who's going to be our starting quarterback, as we all know. But our team, what I like about our team is that they're very resilient, and they've really bought in well, and they believe in what we're doing as coaches. They believe in Auburn, and these guys work hard now, and I'm really proud of the way they've worked in the last 7 months. These guys have worked, and anytime that you got guys that are willing to work and willing to lay it out on the line, then you got a chance to win games. So excited about where we're at right now with our team. Concerned a little bit about depth issues, and and as we know, we need to solve the quarterback issue before in the next 44 days. That's a great question. Obviously Tommy was there for 10 years and had a lot of success, and you're always wanting what's best for Auburn and these players. And let me tell you something, that's a tough time. Anytime there's a transition, and I've been through it twice in 3 years as being the head coach at 2 different places. And coaching changes and transitions are tough on everybody. It's tough on the players. It's tough on the coaches that are there. As the head coach, you got to make very tough decisions. And that's part of the business. And, but at the end of the day, my only focus is to do what I know in my heart is the best thing for Auburn. So I went in there and I made the decisions. As tough as some of those were, I made the decisions that I thought were the best from Auburn, and I'll do that as long as I'm at Auburn. And some of those decisions will be tough, and that comes with the territory. But I can make a tough decision, and they're hard to do. But again, I'm always going to look at what is the best for Auburn and what is the best for our football players, and that's it. It's that simple. So tough times, transitions tough. Transitions are all tough, but I got to give our guys a lot of credit because they've really come through the transition really well, and that was a tough one, especially when somebody's been there 10 years. The biggest probably learning curve is going from a coordinator to just being a head coach, period. Doesn't matter where you're at. There's just obligations, and there's things that, on the peripheral you have to be able to deal with constantly, yet still try to be a head football coach. I became a head football coach because I feel like I was good at my trade. My trade was being a defensive coordinator, and I always worked to be the best in the country. And I feel like that's why I'm sitting in this seat. So the tough part becomes the obligations that come with being a head coach, yet still trying to be a football coach. And that's all time management. That's all how you organize. That's all, and that's tough. And, I hope my 3rd year, I'm a much better coach than I was my 1st year. And I hope my 4th year, I'm a lot better than my 3rd year. And so I'm going to continue to try to grow as a head football coach. But, I've got to find that fine line on, being a head coach yet still being involved with our football team and being a hands-on guy, because that's what got me to this seat.